Hey, Brooke Scholars, welcome back to Remote Learning with me, Mr. Scott. Happy Friday. We've made it to the end of the week, and I'm wearing a suit and tie. Why am I wearing a suit and tie? No real reason. I just felt like, putting on some different clothes. Also, it distracts from this crazy hair that's completely wild and out of control. How's your hair going these days? Everything good up there? Yeah. Okay, say hi to your hair from me. Let's jump into some reading. Okay, so a couple of things that I want to tell you straight away. One of which is that this is an NF. This is a nonfiction article, and I want to also let you know that I found this nonfiction article last weekend, and I've been looking forward to reading it all week. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes these days I get a little bit sad, or I get feelings of just being a little bit lonely, missing being at school, missing seeing all of my second grade friends, and missing teachers. And I thought this was a really uplifting, inspiring, positive, happy article about someone who made a really great positive change. So looking forward to reading this with you. I want to start off today's lesson by talking about your thinking job. And your thinking job is, of course, what you should be thinking about while reading. Remember, we don't want any reading zombies. I'm looking at the words and I'm maybe reading them, but I'm not actually stopping to think about them. Okay. So, giving yourself a purpose for why you are reading is a great way to get started, especially when you're reading a nonfiction text. And that all starts with the title. And we're going to take some time right now and we're going to think about the title of this text. After we've thought about the title, then we can present a question to ourselves. And we'll keep that question, ouch, in our brains. Don't do that. And while we're reading, we'll continue to ask ourselves this question. This way, we can really get focused and think about what it is that we are learning. So here we go. Healing with Happiness. That's the title. Here it is, top of the page here. It's bold, it's underlined. Healing with Happiness. What does that mean? Let's take it piece at a time. Healing. Healing. I know that when people they have an injury. I know that when they are sad, when they have something wrong with their mind or with their body, that they need help. They need to be healed. And a lot of what happens in our country, in our part of the world, is that you would go and see a doctor, you would go to the hospital, and they would heal you. And they would heal you by asking you questions and doing special tests and giving you some sort of medication or something that you can do with your body to help with the injury, whatever it may be. So healing is okay. So someone is unwell and you make them better. It's this next part that makes me a little bit confused. Healing with happiness. Now, happiness is great. I hope we are all happy as much as we possibly can be. But healing with happiness? Now, usually, as I said, it's like a medical professional that might give you some pills or give you a shot in the arm or, ask you about your wonky knee or something like that. How can you use happiness and take happiness and do happy, silly, fun, engaging things? How can that heal a person? How can that make a person better who has an injury? I'm not really sure. So that is the question that we're going to continue to ask ourselves. Healing with happiness. A, who is doing all of this healing with happiness? And B, how does that work? How can you make someone healthy by making them happy? Hmm. Keep that in your mind as we are reading today. And then we got some questions that we need to answer. Let's jump in. Here we go. Dr. Hunter Patch Adams decided early in his life that he wanted to help make the world better. Many of the patients who have visited his hospital would agree that he has done just that. Adams was born in Washington, D.C., but lived in many parts of the world while growing up. His father was in the army, so the family moved often. Moving to new places helped Adams become good at making friends and accepting people for who they are. As a child, Adams performed well in school. He especially excelled at math and science. Above all, like most kids, Adams liked to play and have fun. Me too. Adams decided to become a doctor. During his medical training, he developed his own style of working with patients. When he talked with sick people, he wanted to understand how they were feeling. Huh. He was friendly and thought of ways to make them laugh, hoping to make them feel better. Oh, that's interesting. Some of Adams's teachers were not pleased with his way of treating patients. These teachers believed that being friends with patients could only get in the way of being a good doctor. That's important. We'll come back to that idea. All right, let's keep going. Oh, there he is. Hi, Mr. Adams. I'm sorry, Dr. Adams. Adams did not let his teacher's attitude stop him from trying to make patients laugh. One day he dressed in a clown costume. His bright clothes and red nose made patients smile. After that, Adams continued to wear silly costumes while studying to be a doctor. After he finished medical school, Adams and 20 of his friends opened their own hospital. They converted a large house with 6 bedrooms into a hospital where they provided free medical care. They named their hospital the Gesundheit Institute. Gesundheit means health in the German language. It is also a funny sounding word, which makes it a perfect name for Adams's hospital. Like at all hospitals, the doctors and nurses at Adams Hospital worked to make sick patients well again. But Adams Hospital also provided fun activities for patients. They could garden and fish, and they could watch a play or see a dance performance. Adams thought the patients would begin to feel better if they were engaged in the things that they enjoyed doing. Now, here's the picture over here. Let's take a look here. Dr. Adams looking like he's on stage. It looks like he's explaining something, possibly to an audience. And of course, he's dressed up in clown gear. Now, why was he dressed? He's a doctor, right? Usually doctors have like the white coats on. What seems to be the problem? The stethoscope, thermometer, but not this guy. While he was training to be a doctor, and then after he did all of his training, got out of college, and became a doctor, why was he wearing clown clothes? Right. He wanted his patients to be happy, to start to feel better, to smile, to laugh. But some people disagreed with his approach to this idea. Okay. Hunter Patch Adams often wears clown clothes in public. He walks around. He's not actually a clown. Okay. It's not like he was training to be a clown and then decided, no, I'll be a doctor. He's a doctor and has been working hard to become so, but thinks that patients should laugh, and so he dresses up as a clown. Let's finish this thing. The doctors and nurses at Adams's hospital were also trained to be funny and kind to patients. According to Adams, humor is very important. I quote. He thinks laughter and joy can sometimes help a sick person as much as any medicine. Ooh. Some days, Adams dresses as a clown and rides a unicycle through the halls of the hospital. He believes taking the time to be friendly and silly with people shows them that someone cares. In the 1980s, Adams took his red clown nose and left the United States to visit other countries. His goal was to make people around the world feel better by providing them with medical care. He hoped to make patients feel comfortable by talking with them and telling them jokes. He also brought medical supplies to the places that needed them most. Whether Adams was giving medical care or supplies, he made sure there was always a friendly smile under that bright red nose. Cracking funny jokes and making people laugh is an effortless talent for some. However, it does not come naturally to everyone. For those doctors who feel they need help, Adams spends time teaching them how to be friendly and silly with their patients. He gives speeches all over the world, and he still wears a clown costume. The Gesundheit Institute is raising money to build a teaching center and a bigger hospital. This hospital will also provide free care for patients. And of course, Adams wants it to be a fun and playful place. Adams and a child in a Colombian hospital. There he is. Looks like the child's got a smile on his face. Can't quite see, but there's Patch Adams all dressed up as a clown, giving medical care. I want my doctor to be a funny person. Yeah, totes. Adams has written books about his style of healing patients. He writes that you don't have to be a doctor to help someone feel better. The most important thing anyone can do is visit people who are sick. Sometimes letting someone know you care can be the most powerful cure of all. Wow. See what I'm saying about inspirational and feeling good and changing the world, making it a better place, and making it a better place by being silly? What could be better than that? Okay, let's return to our title for just a second. Healing with happiness. What does that actually mean? Okay, so we had questions. A, we wanted to know who was doing all of this healing. And we found out it was this guy, this dude, Dr. Hunt Patch Adams. I'm guessing Patch is probably his clown nose. patch because, as you saw in the picture, his clothes were all kind of made of patches, which is what clowns wear, which is kind of silly. Okay, so and then how? This was the most important part. B, part of our thinking job question. B, how are they doing that? Okay, well, let's take it step by step and go through. So he was born in Washington, D.C., but his dad was in the army. So as a little boy, he moved around a lot of different places. He was really talented at school and liked to have fun. He decided to become a doctor, and during his doctor training, he realized that it made patients feel better if he was silly with them and laughing and joking and being wacky. Hey, I'm a clown, boo doo doo. And they would laugh and they would smile. And it turns out that Dr. Adams thought that that was really, really important. Now, as he was still a student in college learning how to become a doctor, some of his teachers in college disagreed with this. They thought, no, there's no point being friends. It just gets in the way of good medical practices, so you shouldn't be friends. But Dr. Adams didn't believe that, and he completely ignored their recommendations, and he put together his own institute, the Gesundheit Institute. Bless you. And there he provided free care for his patients, and they could do lots of different kinds of activities, activities that were designed to help them be happy. Such as, what was it? One was going fishing, gardening, seeing a performance. Sounds like an incredible place, even if it wasn't a hospital. Um, so then he was he was riding a unicycle. That's one of those, it's like half a bicycle, and you sit and there's no handlebars and you just kind of ride it around. It's really silly. So he's making sure that they're happy. Then he took off around the world. He was like, okay, this seems to be working. I seem to be able to make people healthy through my medicine, but also to make them happy, to help to speed their recovery, make them get well quicker. So that's really cool. From there, he was hoping to expand the hospital and make sure that it was free health care for patients, and that's really important because you know, uh, taking care of people costs money, so you have to charge the patient. But he was like, no, 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 we're not going to charge anyone. We're going to make you healthy. You're going to come and stay at my hospital, and we're going to treat you, but you're not going to have to pay for it. So that's pretty incredible too. He's written books about his style of healing patients, and I love this last line. Let's just read this one more time. Sometimes letting someone know you care can be the most powerful cure of all. So one of the most important things I think that was mentioned in this article is the idea that he's this Dr. Adams is of the opinion that being happy and being healthy are two very, very, very important things, and that medicine is just as important as taking care of someone and treating them kindly. So that's quite an idea. I'm not surprised that some of his teachers disagreed with him. He kind of came up with invented this new style for medicine. Okay, so here is what we just learned in today's lesson. You need to really think carefully about the question, about make a thinking question. So we used the title of the text to help us get our brains ready, and that's what you need to do when you're reading any nonfiction article. So make sure that when you are reading nonfiction articles next week, or if you're reading nonfiction books at home, which I really hope you are you? Are you reading it? Are you? Make sure to stop and think about a question you're asking yourself. Check in with your brain as you're reading, and that will shout outs. I have a few of them. Thank you to those people that have been uploading pictures. Now, pictures of work, that is. Now, I'm seeing a lot of people that are doing this. Can you read this? Like, this is the image that I get. Can you read any of that? No. What about if it's here? Still can't read it. What if it's here? No, still can't read it. What if I remove my face from the picture? Okay, that's an improvement. So I'm kind of, you can't see this, but I'm kind of peeking around here and I can see how much is on there. You can read every word of that, right? Yes, every single word. So that's how close. My paper is now really, really close to the camera, guys. It is really, really, really close. It's right there. And only when I think I've got it perfectly centered would I then click the button, okay? For those people, of course, I'm loving seeing your beautiful faces at home and working hard and completing assignments. That's great. Keep it up. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So proud of each and every one of you. But let's make sure that we get into a really good habit starting today of really making sure that we can see all the work. One of the things that I'm doing is I'm thinking about this box that I'm in here, this square that goes all the way around, right, the entire screen. And I'm thinking about that as a frame. And I'm thinking, like, if I was to frame this like a picture, I would want to put this perfectly inside, right like that. And that's a way that you can think about how to present your work and take that picture so that your teachers can talk to you about the wonderful work that you're doing, right? Right? All right? All right. I want you to complete these questions, okay? Yep, it's the same work. It's going to look exactly like this, even though it's nonfiction. We got the multiple choice down the side. We got the short answer at the bottom. And here are the questions. I'm not going to read them to you today. But this is your exit ticket. This is the work that you need to do. Answer these questions. The last one is all about, look at this, number 9, explain the meaning behind the title, Healing with Happiness. What does that mean? Who's doing the healing? How are they bringing about healing through happiness? Okay. Looking forward to seeing all of your work. Get it done. Post a picture. Can't wait to see it all. And that's about it, I think. I'm going to stop this video and then immediately remember, oh, I should have said that, but that's okay. That happens every time. So listen, have yourself a wonderful rest of your day. Have a great weekend. I will see you back here on Monday morning. For me, the world's greatest ultimate champion, and on this fantastic YouTube channel with all these wonderful second grade teachers. From me, bye.